Givens is out. Hasty's out. Elijah Mitchell will be doubtful. Armstead questionable. Mosley questionable. Kinlaw questionable. And Trey Sermon cleared protocol, so he's good. Go ahead.
Is Sermon out of the concussion protocol?
Yes.
And how was Sermon look like in practice? What are you seeing out of him? And
I mean, with the rules of protocol, you can't do everything. But he's been great all week. Just what he has been able to do in individual, getting to go everything today. But you're never fully sure of it till they clear it. But he's been great all week.
How did the other backs, particularly the guy you signed from Cincinnati, Patrick?
He did a good job. I mean, there was a lot thrown at him in 3 practices. He tried to absorb as much as he can, and he'll be ready to go if need be.
In a scenario like that, what's Bobby's work like? I mean, how much round the clock stuff is he having to do with each of these guys?
I mean, you got to do a lot of stuff. I mean, you try to, you can't take everything in, so you just try to compartmentalize things and put into certain groups and try to teach them a few groups of stuff. You also can't go around the clock as much as you need to because there's a lot of work too that you got to recover and sleep from. But Bobby's as good as anyone there is at it. I know what we ask of those guys; they'll be prepared to do it.
As a scheme connoisseur, what do you like about Matt LaFleur's scheme? I'm sure it looks pretty familiar.
That he works to his talent right. He does good things for a very good quarterback, a very good receiver, and very good running back.
In 50 years, if you were describing Aaron Rodgers to your grandkids, what would you say about him?
Best throw I've ever seen.
Best throw you've ever seen?
Or tied, but probably the best.
Probably the best.
Yeah.
Different arming. Like,
Yeah.
if I was your grandkid, I'd say, could you give me a little more? Like, I've never seen him. What made him so great?
I mean, I think technology will still be working then. They'll be able to, I'm not a very good describer unless I have tape to go with it. I'll definitely turn on the tape. I'll show your kids if you want me to. All right.
When you had to put in Trenton Cannon for one play, obviously there are all the injuries, but you just explain, did you have to say, sorry, Trenton, but can you run this play, or how did that work?
No, you don't have to say sorry. Those guys are fired up. If you have to say sorry, you probably got the wrong guy who seems upset to get in the game. I mean, he was fired up and ready to go. And they usually tell you they're good with everything, but that's a little more ambitious than the truth always. So I usually ask Bobby what he's able to do, and Bobby usually tells me, and then I don't talk to the person that much. I don't sit there and try to freak him out. You don't have any other option. He's going in. And then I usually communicate to Jimmy through the microphone and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Talk to him, make sure he says what Bobby tells me, and he knows what to do. And he did. So we were excited about him. He's done a hell of a job here in this last week.
You're obviously more ready this week.
Yes. I mean, each day you're here, you get more ready. But we were really preparing him hard that week to help on special teams. That's why we decided to go with 4 running backs. We weren't preparing them as hard, at least through reps and stuff, to play running back, but that's why those guys will tell you Bobby never leaves them alone. Bobby's preparing for everything, regardless of what we're thinking.
Who would you expect to be your number 3, or actually your 2 and 3 running back on Sunday?
Is that a trick question? One of our guys is doubtful, so I'm still holding out that he can get up, and so that will change who our 3 is. If he was up, it would have been Hasty, but he's down, so it'll be one of the other choices that are left.
Well, I don't know if this is something that you're willing to say right now here, but have you informed, or are you going to bring up a practice squad guy?
And honestly, we haven't. I mean, that's most likely a possibility. I mean, if we dress 3, if we dress 4, and if Elijah can't go, but I haven't decided anything because I'm really holding out hope that Elijah can go.
And with Chris Thompson and his history with you, does that give him a little bit more of an edge?
I mean, not totally. I mean, our history with Chris is that we drafted him, but we drafted him coming off a torn ACL, knowing he was going to have a redshirt year, so we've never played with him. He played for Jay as soon as we left. So, but there is some similarities with that, but it's a pretty different offense, especially 8 years later.
And just one follow-up, just Kerryon Johnson. How has he done since he's been here? As far as
he's done a real good job. And he's a week ahead of the of Jaquez, which always it helps him. But he's done a good job. He's taking advantage of his opportunities.
Aware that the guy is listed as doubtful and then plays on Sunday. What needs to happen for Elijah to be ready to play?
He needs to feel like he can. And I think in a situation where you're down a number of guys and stuff, and the other guys are brand new guys, that's why when it comes to the wire and it's like that, and if Raheem was here, obviously Hasty was still there, you would definitely just wait a week. But when you're deciding on guys who are just trying to catch up and learn it this week, you're a little more patient with that. So if he feels like he can go and the doctors say that he can't hurt himself any worse, then that's why we would do it.
Is that the case? Is it pain management, or can he do more damage to the shoulder by playing?
I mean, you can always do more damage and get hurt, but if it was something of a risk of what's already happened before, then the doctors wouldn't clear him to go.
Jacques was a very big running back.
Mhm.
Is that the first time you see him in person, were you taken aback by how big he was, or did you see it on film?
You saw it on film, but he looked a little bigger in person. Maybe it was 35 compared to 31. 5's a more blockier number. 1's a leaner number. But yeah, he looked pretty big in person. That's good.
Can I ask about the situation at cornerback? How does that whole situation shake out if Mosley can go, if Mosley can't go?
The same as the running backs. I mean, in terms of, I'm not sure of it exactly because one is questionable. So I still got to figure out if he's going. I mean, if he doesn't, I think it'll be the same starting lineup as last week.
Do you guys go through more than 90 minutes before game time, kind of see how they feel physically on that particular day before making that up or down call?
You do if you have to. I really try not to. I think it really sucks for a player to have to get up early, go get ready to show fully that you're ready to play 4 hours before a game, and then you calm down a little bit, then you have to get it back up again. So you try to avoid that. Sometimes it's a necessity. You have to do it. But that's something we try to avoid.
There was a report this week going back to the draft relating to the Aaron Rodgers trade discussions. Do you feel like there was any tension between you and Matt LaFleur regarding those discussions?
No, I don't. I mean, I definitely heard about people talking about our friendship, but I got a lot of friends in this league, coaches, players, equipment managers, everybody. I've been in this league for 20 years, and you do have lots of friends, but I can promise you that friends never come in, never affect how you do your job. We all have jobs to do, and you all have relationships, but you always do your job and try not to think about anything else.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you.